So this is my update on my non-petroleum jelly. I made a video with my first 3 attempts of making non-petroleum jelly. I'll see if I can link it. My second and third, which are these two right here, I actually redid, so I guess this would be my 4th attempt. My second and third were from the same batch. I had just split into 2 because I wanted to do 2 different methods. When you see the video, you'll see that one was hand mixed and the other one was mixed with an electric mixer. So even though they were the same batch and the same exact recipe because they were from the same batch, they did come out completely different because of the way it was handled. So my third attempt, it was the one that was more jelly-like. I was more happy with it because it resembled Vaseline more, but it was still runny. When I tilted the jar and everything, it would run over. I actually had spilt it on my carpet and everything because the jar tipped over. I accidentally knocked it over. So I didn't really like that, so I wanted to go ahead and add some more beeswax and alter the recipe a little bit. The recipe was 94% castor oil, 5% beeswax, and 1% vitamin E. This doesn't have vitamin E in it. I had used sweet almond oil because I didn't have any vitamin E on hand. But in the future I will be using vitamin E because it does help heal. So I do want to use it like, Neosporin and stuff like that for like cuts and wounds. And living in Florida, we suffer from an epidemic of dry feet because we're always wearing flip-flops even in the winter. So I want to help out a lot of my friends with because we all wear flip-flops everywhere. Our heels are always really, really dry. So in the future I will be using vitamin E, but because it was still runny, that recipe was still runny, I added a little bit more beeswax, and I'm not sure how it would, what the percentages would be since with the added beeswax. So I just know what the actual weight of each ingredient was. Per weight or by weight, it was, I totally, with the new adjustments, it was 7.5 ounces of castor oil, 0.7 ounces of beeswax, and 1 ounce of sweet almond oil, but in the future it's going to be vitamin E. I would suggest using vitamin E, but of course you can use any recipe that you like to make your non-petroleum jelly. So that was my final recipe, and that's what I got with this. I had taken my second and third attempts out of the jars, melted them down again, added that extra beeswax, and I also, what I did was I had the mixture in a Pyrex glass cup and I put it in an ice water bath as I was hand whisking it. It helped it cool down really quickly, so within 3 minutes it was starting to solidify and it was great. I went ahead and added half a teaspoon of fragrance for each. This one has lavender essential oil, this one's lemongrass. This one I wanted to keep it mild because my son and my husband, they both have sensitive skin. So this one's for me. So half a teaspoon of whatever fragrance you like is enough. These are both 4-ounce jars. And I went ahead and I hand whisked it for about 3 minutes, and it was still runny when I glopped it into the jars, but these have been sitting for about an hour and a half now. And so as you see, it's not runny anymore. It is like Vaseline. So it has the jelly gloopy consistency, and you see it's you can tell it's going to be a great lubricant and a great healer. So just wanted to show, I guess this would be my 4th and final attempt at making non-petroleum jelly, and as you see, it turned out great.